Hi, this is Jerusalem Jane, up close and personal. I was not planning on doing a video today, and this is the third time that I'm trying to record this message. I actually ended up putting on my glasses because I couldn't stop crying and my eyes are all messed up. But I want to share some devastating breaking news that happened this morning. Israel was once again completely shattered by another heinous terror attack. An 83-year-old woman, her name was Ludmila, stepped outside. It was close to a nursing home in Herzliya. I actually don't know if she was staying in that place, but she stepped outside. It's Friday, it's Shabbat, we are out cooking, cleaning, doing laundry. I just put out my laundry, getting ready for Shabbat. It's Hanukkah, and this precious lady steps outside just to walk straight into death. Simply walking outside as a Jew in Israel, in beautiful Herzliya of all places. And she comes out face to face with another monster from the pit of hell who set out in this evil hate to murder a Jew. And who is his victim? An 83-year-old Jewish grandmother who is defenseless. Can you imagine the horror of this precious old woman when this terrorist comes up and he just starts stabbing her and stabbing her and stabbing her repeatedly? A defenseless old lady stabbed by this demonic terrorist from Tulkarem of all places, which is a hotbed for terrorists. People are hear her screaming, and two security guards hear Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, and they hear the scream and they realize there is a terrorist attack taking place, and they quickly arrive and they shoot and they neutralize this terrorist, and he was later arrested. I shared that video on my Telegram channel. And next to this deplorable terrorist lying on the floor arrested, paramedics are working to save the life of this Jewish grandmother. But arriving in the hospital, the doctors had no choice but to declare her dead. Most likely at the age of 83, you have children and grandchildren. Getting a call that your mother, your grandmother was just murdered, brutally stabbed to death in another heinous terror attack in the Jewish homeland. And now news are breaking that this monster terrorist was actually an informant to the Israeli intelligence agency. He was used as an informant to give information about all the terrorists and the terrorism infrastructure out in Judea and Samaria. But he was caught, he was exposed, and according to Israeli media, he was brought into Israel for what? Rehabilitation. Well, someone didn't do a good job, because this monster from the pit of hell just went out today to murder a Jewish grandmother, 83-year-old, fighting for her life, for crying out loud, against this young terrorist who just kept stabbing her and stabbing her. Unbelievable. So I'm sending my deepest condolences to the family of Ludmila, 83 years old, who was brutally murdered today. May her memory forever be a blessing. On this Friday, before Shabbat, on the third night of Hanukkah. This terrorist is now arrested. He's going into an Israeli hospital. He's getting treatment. He was shot in the foot or the leg, I believe. And what? Is he going to get money now for murdering a Jew in an Israeli jail? It's unbelievable. Will you even hear about this in mainstream media? I'm also sending my heartfelt condolences to the families of all the soldiers who has been killed fighting deplorable Hamas terrorists inside Gaza. We had 3 soldiers who was killed in just one day this week. And then another soldier, precious soldier, the father of 4 children and a beautiful wife, was killed by a sniper inside Gaza. And I saw the footage from the funeral. His young son was eulogizing his father. Too many broken hearts and too many funerals in the Holy Land. And then we have the Houthis, the Iranian-backed terrorists, the Houthis in Yemen, who continue to fire ballistic missiles and rockets into Israel. So this morning I woke up with the red alert on my phone. It went off, and again a ballistic missile came from the Houthis in Yemen towards the center of Israel, and more than 2 million people was now getting the red alert, and the siren went off and they had to run for cover. They had to run for their lives to bomb shelters, and that one rocket was intercepted, and I heard the loud explosions from that. I'm in a short-time rental. I actually only have 3 months left. I have to move March 31st, but I'm at the outskirts, at the entrance here to Jerusalem, towards that area, so I heard those loud interceptions. We have had numerous ballistic missiles and drones coming in from Yemen this week. So yesterday, the Israeli Air Force carried out massive airstrikes towards the Houthis' military targets in Yemen. Massive airstrikes. Thank you to the Israeli Air Force. 25 fighter jets, there were spy planes, and there were the big tankers, because it's such a long way to Yemen. Our fighter jets has to refuel. So they carried out and they took out numerous targets towards the Houthis in Yemen. So thank you for that. But after that, they again fired a ballistic missiles. So thank you for the Israeli military for shooting that down. It's not even 2 weeks ago where that interception failed and a missile touched down in Israel. And I'm telling you, it is because of your prayers around the world and because of the Israeli military and the Iron Dome and the fighter jets that goes into the air that we don't have hundreds of people being killed in these attacks. So keep praying for Israel, keep praying for the Holy Land for such a time as this. Pray for all the families who has lost a loved one in heinous terror attacks, and for all the families who got the knock on the door that your husband, your father, your son, your brother, your nephew was just killed in Gaza fighting Hamas terrorists. So we are still also taking out targets in Lebanon, where we still have the Hezbollah, but Israel has done tremendous work in Lebanon. It just came out now that 85,000 weapons has been seized from Hezbollah. Hezbollah was planning having the weapons, all the equipments ready in towns close to the border to Israel to carry out a massive attack into the Galilee, bigger than what Hamas carried out on October 7. It was all ready, it was all lining up. And because Israel went into Lebanon and carried out the raids that they did, and the targets that they did, that was thwarted, that was prevented. The slaughter of thousands of Israelis living in the north of Israel, and Israelis who could have been kidnapped back to Lebanon. So for such a time as this, we will always stand with Israel, speak up for Israel, support Israel around the world. Thank you for all the Christians around the world who do stand in the gap for Israel, just as you're still in the season of Christmas, celebrating the birth of a Jewish baby. We are looking to you for your support and for your voice, standing up for Israel. And that also means to get out in the streets and do pro-Israel demonstrations. So the people living here, the families who just now have to go to the cemetery and bury their grandmother, they actually see that there are people around the world who is standing with Israel for such a time as this. So that was just the latest quick update I put on my hat. It's very windy. I had to run out and do a little bit of shopping before Shabbat. So Happy Hanukkah, Chag Sameach, Shabbat Shalom from my little rental apartments. Like I said, I already have to now start looking for a new place as I have to move April 1st. May God bless Israel, and united we stand with the Holy Lands. Bye.